on the Unit 2. I'm sorry, that should say Unit 2 retakes. I'll fix that. They need to be done by Thursday of this week, ladies and gentlemen, because depending on how today, tomorrow goes, and Wednesday, we will either be taking our unit test on Friday of this week or on Monday or 1 week from today. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. Your test is basically probably about 60 points of writing formulas and writing names. Hello, Giselle. So that will be the majority of it. There are 5 different naming systems that you will have. We have been through 2 of them. Today we will introduce the 3rd. Tomorrow the 4th and 5th. So, and then the last 10 to 18 points, if you count bonus, will be questions similar to like was on your first quiz. So, questions? All right. So, what is your favorite activity to do to relax, ladies and gentlemen? If you need to unstress yourself, what do? Sleep. That's your big activity, sleeping? Okay, can't argue with that. Shop. Retail therapy. Okay. I like that. I like that. My wife is a big believer in that. What else? What else do you like to do to relax? Maybe this is why you guys are so stressed out. You have nothing to do to relax yourselves.
You know that one, like, cat rescue on Broadway?
Yeah, there's a cat rescue place on Broadway.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like to go there. I get to sit with all the cats.
You get to sit with the cat. Well, you might be off to a good start to be a crazy old cat lady someday.
No, I'm already there. I have 5.
You have 5 cats
It's great.
in your home
Yeah.
at the same time,
Yeah.
and you use the term great?
Yeah.
See, in my house, we have a rule. Any pet is allowed to stay, and person for that matter now, as long as they can stay underwater for 10 minutes.
Okay,
So
If you cannot stay underwater for 10 minutes, you're not welcome in my house
What if
permanently.
they have a helmet?
I don't care if they have a helmet. They can have a helmet on while they're underwater. That's not really going to help them.
Yeah, it is. It'll be in air for 10 minutes.
You mean a scuba mask?
Yeah.
That's different than a helmet then.
Not in my opinion.
Okay.
Oh, I just say so.
Okay. Well, if they want to try it, they're welcome to try it. Unfortunately, I put that rule in after we had kids. So anyway,
You better go underwater for 10 minutes.
I was there first. Besides, I built the house. I get to live in it.
Okay.
Build your house.
What part of the sentence do you not understand, Jules?
Bro plays Roblox IRL.
So, all right. What else do you do to relax? We got sleep, shop, and go to the cat rescue place.
As it should be. You get to read with the kitties.
You read with the kitties? Do you read to them or do they read to you?
No, they sit on my lap, but I read.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Well, then don't pick up the wrong cat.
I wasn't trying to pick them up off their bed.
Read body language. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, don't pet cats. They're mean.
Okay, buddy. That's what an unloved child would say.
Yeah.
That's what? No, I didn't hear what you said. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
exactly. That's all you need to know. That's
Oh.
all you need to know.
That's all I need to know. No, I still need to know the way you guys relax, but apparently you don't.
Me personally, I like
Okay, good, because I'd rather you tell me about you personally than tell me about Elsa, because that probably wouldn't work well. Okay, you personally, Jules.
I like to read.
You like to read
Yes.
for fun,
For fun, yes.
and reading is fun.
Yes.
You and I definitely have a different definition of fun.
Well, so if I'm stressed about what's going on in the real world, I just read a book and just escape.
I completely understand. I can honestly say I don't know if I have ever read for fun. I'm not saying you, Jules. I'm saying me. I don't know if I've ever read for fun, unless you count the comics or the Sunday paper.
Well, that's because the books that are made for men suck.
There are books made for men? I thought they were just books.
No, books that are genuinely aimed towards men, they suck. So,
That's 'cause
honestly,
they're
I can't tell you what they actually want you to read about.
Okay. I can't either, which is okay because I don't like to read about anything.
Football. I don't know.
That's an activity.
I don't know. It's the same with country. It's this thing, Trump, beer, America. Same. They're singing about the same thing.
Wow, we are definitely stereotyping the world this morning, aren't we?
Am I wrong?
Yes.
No.
Okay. What else? What else do you do to relieve stress, or do you want to just stereotype, another section of our society, ladies?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Good. I gave her an either/or question, and I got an answer. Yeah.
I can eat it anyway. That's it. Shut up.
Anything else?
Yeah.
Hanging out with friends.
Hanging out with friends.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. I gotta be
You can hang out with your cats. She can hang out with her friends. It's okay. We can have different ways of relieving stress.
Relaxing.
How is having little critters crawl all over you and scratch you relaxing?
They're not crawling all over me and scratching me. I actually know how to read a cat. I can
You know how to read a cat. Jules knows how to read a book. You guys are both okay then.
I also know how to read cats. I love cats.
Exactly. They're so easy to read. Y'all just...
But
Yes, they are. Stay away from me and we'll be fine. That's easy to read.
That's how you read them.
That's how they should read me.
No, because cats are.
Oh, I bet you're a dog person, aren't you?
No, again, remember my rule. Dogs have no better chance during the 10 minutes than cats do.
Wait, so you're a fish person?
No, because here's the nice part about fish. They die. But they do meet the rule, so.
So you would be acceptable with your kids?
We used to have a fish tank, yes. We did.
What
We
about
don't
a
anymore.
whale?
What?
What about a whale?
What about a whale?
Or turtles?
Oh, a turtle would be
A
cute.
turtle would be more realistic than a whale. What do you think I have? Like an ocean in my backyard?
Hey man, you built your house. I
Hey,
don't know what
Mr.
to
Dix
tell
has
ya.
a pond in his backyard.
Only rich people build their houses. Hate to tell you.
What? No,
Yeah, you have to-
no. Rich people hire someone to build their house.
Yeah, you paid for it, didn't you?
You physically built your
I
house?
physically built my house. Yes. Physically.
Wait, so you cut down the
No. I didn't cut down the trees. I bought the lumber.
See, he bought the lumber.
I'm not Daniel Boone here.
Yes, creative
So,
mode. I
was
told
this
you.
back when
This is about 20 years ago.
Prairie?
No,
Yeah.
20 years ago.
He personally knew us.
So,
Hey man, this man was probably.
all right. Anything else that you do to relax, to take it easy? Karina? They're in the box right there next to the computer where you sign up.
Elsa, what do you do?
What do I do to relax?
I asked Elsa.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to me. I missed the part where you said, Elsa, what do you do to relax? Elsa, what do you do to relax now that Jules has put you on the spot?
Really does.
You don't know. Elsa's like, I don't relax. It's a lot easier
So
that
I
way.
think Elsa's a
I
very
go
stressful person.
Let's not put your thoughts into Elsa's head.
She's nodding her head yes.
Because she wants this conversation to be over.
No.
It's just like when, your parents stop and talk to somebody at the supermarket or whatever, and you're like, yeah, let's just get over with this. Yeah, that's right, Mom. I made the honor roll. Yes, awesome. Let's go. Can we leave?
Okay, Mr. Brand, what do you do to relax?
I golf.
I take a walk.
I do take walks too.
If you're golfing,
Walks are good.
stressful.
What? See, golf is not stressful. When you're a bad golfer, golf is not stressful because you know what? I'm bad. I know I'm going to be bad. It isn't going to be pretty, so I just am out there having fun.
I feel like mini golf is better.
No.
I don't have
You know what the bad part about mini golf is? They get mad at me every time I try to take my cart on the mini golf course.
It's
To drive
not
from
very
hole to
long,
hole.
Right? Trying to cart across.
Because when you golf, you should be in a cart.
No,
That's the
golf
rule.
is actually very stress relieving because, like you said, if you're a bad golfer and so you hit the ball and it goes completely the wrong direction of the hole, you just beat the crap out of the turf and like the grass. See?
No, that's how you get kicked off the golf course.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people do it.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to talk about a different kind of compound. Yes!
What did you?
We are going back to a binary compound, which means what?
No, Mr.
Two elements, two different elements. But now, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to a binary covalent compound. There were three ways that atoms can fill their valence shell. What are they? Lose, gain, and something apparently you guys are not very good at. Sharing. You can gain electrons, you can lose electrons, you can share electrons. Now, let's get one thing straight. Metals don't share. They're like the males of the periodic table elements. They don't share. They only want to lose electrons. That's it. That is it. They will not share electrons. But nonmetals want to gain. And they don't care how they gain. And if they can share electrons between two nonmetals, it's like they both have gained, ladies and gentlemen. And therefore, they both can become stable. So, what we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, is we are talking about a binary ionic compound, which is two nonmetals bonded by sharing electrons. Now, a couple of important things here. If you're sharing electrons, there are no charges. It's not a negative and a positive equaling zero. There is no charges created when you share electrons, okay? But you can still fill your valence shell by sharing electrons, ladies and gentlemen. So, again, we are not going to be doing the crisscross method here. Why? Because there are no charges to crisscross, okay? Involves only nonmetals. Two elements. First one is a nonmetal. It has to be a binary covalent compound. Two elements, first one is a metal, it has to be a binary ionic. We will not deal with any covalent compounds that have three or more elements in them. They do exist, they are out there, we're just not going to deal with them in this class. So only two elements, both of which are nonmetals. There are no charges. Their formulas do not have to be reduced. And we are going to use prefixes when naming the elements. This is the system where you have prefixes in a name. So carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, okay? This is the system where we are going to use prefixes, and you are literally going to describe to somebody how many of each element are there by its name. And if you're given a name, you're going to write a formula that the name will tell you how many of each element are in the formula. Okay? So first of all, we did this before and we looked at these and we said ionic or covalent before. Okay? Actually, I'm sorry, we said binary or ternary before. Now we're doing ionic or covalent. First of all, how many elements here? How many elements here? How do we know there are three elements here? Good. So what kind does this have to be? Ionic or covalent? Has to be ionic because I'm not giving you any that have three elements that are covalent. Okay? So the next one, PAS. First of all, how many elements? Two. Ionic or covalent? Why? Okay. The first element is phosphorus. Phosphorus is a non-metal, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, that is a covalent compound. Here is phosphorus right here. SR3, S2. First of all, how many different elements? So it could be ionic, it could be covalent. Look at the first element, metal or non-metal. Okay, you give me both answers. Now, which one are you going with?
It's a metal.
It's a metal, which makes this ionic. If there is a metal involved, it is ionic. BaCl2. How many different elements? Stephanie? 2. The first one, Ray, metal or non-metal?
Metal.
So ionic or covalent, Albert? That is ionic. The next one, C2H6. Aiden, how many different elements? 2. Is the first one, Sam, a metal or a non-metal? So that makes it what, Adriana? Ionic or covalent? That makes it covalent. Very good. SF6. SF6. Steel. How many different elements? Zach. Is the first one a metal or a non-metal? SF6. Non-metal. Which makes it what, Giselle? Ionic or covalent if the first one is a non-metal? If the first one is a non-metal, it will be covalent. If the first one is a non-metal, it'll be covalent. PBC, how many different elements here, Skylar? I understand that, but when you look at that formula, Skylar, how many capital letters do you see? So then how many different elements? There you go. Okay, now this, again, I know you haven't been here for a while, but we should be able to identify elements if we look for capital letters alone. Okay, we'll get you caught up though. Adriana, is the first one a metal or a non-metal? Metal. So shining, what kind of compound is it? It is ionic. Okay. AgCl, Jules, how many different elements? 2. Is the first one a metal or a non-metal, Itzel? Is Ag a metal or a non-metal? So therefore, it is what kind of compound, Karina? It is ionic. Very good. COO. How many different elements here? How many different elements here, Elsa? 2. Is the first one a metal or a non-metal? Abby? Metal. That makes this what, Kevin? Ionic or covalent? That makes this ionic. CO2. CO2. Evelyn, how many different elements? Okay, Evelyn, is the first one a metal or a non-metal? Because that was an easy question. How many different elements? There's only 2 letters there. Come on. Non-metal, which makes this what, Stephanie? That makes this a covalent compound. CCl4. 2 elements there. The first one, Jules, is it a metal or a non-metal? CCl4. CCl4, the first one in the compound. Is carbon a metal or a non-metal? Carbon is a metal now. Okay, we changed it. Switched sides, ladies and gentlemen. It's always been a non-metal, but for Jules, it just... What?
What do you do it like?
Jules, I asked you a question. Was carbon a metal or non-metal? You said a metal.
Well, then you said
Well, because it's up here, which makes it a what? Then why did you tell me it was a metal?
Well, because I felt like switching it up.
Well, and then I said carbon is switching sides, and then you got all mad at me. So if carbon is a non-metal, what kind of compound is this, Aiden? If carbon is a metal, what kind of compound is this, Aiden? If carbon is a non-metal, what kind of compound? See, you changed your mind twice. I want to see if you would do it a third time. It's a covalent compound. Yes, very good. By the way, if you're looking at me to bail you out when you give me a wrong answer occasionally, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to do it. And even if you give me a right answer, I may question you again just to see if you're confident in your answer, right, Kevin? Good. What, Jules?
What kind of design is on your shirt?
What kind of design is on my shirt? It's camouflage.
Well, why is it blue?
Because this is camouflage if I'm ever in a sunflower garden. Because I want to be around sunflowers. I don't know why. Leave me alone. Okay, N2O4. 2 elements. Nitrogen element. Metal or non-metal? Non-metal, which makes this what kind of compound? Zach. Covalent. Very good. I'll take a poor pronunciation of the right answer rather than a good pronunciation of the wrong. So, ladies and gentlemen, first element of 2. You got to decide now. Is it a metal or is it a non-metal? Because you have 2 totally different naming systems depending on which one it is. Questions? Okay, so let's talk about the naming system. The naming system uses covalent prefixes. Now, I will always give these to you, ladies and gentlemen. I will give these to you on a test. I will give these to you on a quiz. I will give these to you on your worksheets, but you may want to write them down on your periodic table just so that you have them available to you. The prefix and the number. Mono means 1. Di means 2. What's 3? Come on, try. Go ahead, give it a try.
You said it.
I didn't say it. Till just now I said try. Give it a try.
Yeah, you said it.
No, I didn't say it again. I said try.
You said the answer.
I never said the answer until just now. Try. 3. Tetra is 4. By the way, what game is it that is 4 of something? You guys are way too young. What? Tetris. Tetris is 4 squares in different shapes. Don't know if you ever noticed that. So the 4 squares could be 2 on 2, making one big block. They could be 4 in a row vertical, horizontal, 2 and 2, 3 and 1. 4 squares always, though. Tetra means 4, ladies and gentlemen. What's 5? Penta. What's 6? Hexa. What is 7? Hepta. 7 is hepta. What's 8? Octa. What's 9? Nona. And 10? Deca. We will never give you any compound with more than 10 of something in it, ladies and gentlemen. Never give you a compound with more than 10. What? Did you say something, Kevin? I'm sorry. I thought you did. I thought somebody asked why. We're just not going to do it. We're not giving you anything bigger than that. Questions? There's a few people actually writing this down, so I'll wait until I move on.
I mean, it's already.
It's already what?
It's already.
In what? Some people are writing it down on their periodic tables.
Oh.
Oh, that thing, that periodic table thing, which you use to name things.
That's smart.
I would maybe make a note on there too that a covalent compound is 2 nonmetals and an ionic compound is a metal and a nonmetal. But again, that's your choice because you're the one who's going to be doing the test and you're the one who's going to be looking at these compounds and deciding which naming system do I use. If more people just would accept that attitude, Jules, the world would be a better place.
What?
Yes, definitely, guaranteed.
Ionic compounds. What would I do? The metal and the non-metal.
And covalent is 2 nonmetals, correct?
Covalent is 2 nonmetals. Ionic, now remember, the only covalent compounds we will make will be binary ones. So if there are 2 elements, you look at the first element and you decide if it is a metal or a nonmetal. If there are 3 elements, it automatically has to be what? But what kind is it? Binary or covalent? I'm sorry, ionic or covalent? Has to be ionic if there are 3 elements. You're right, it is called a ternary. That's why there are 3 or more elements, but those are always going to be ionic. The naming system that we have been doing. Okay? We're good? Does anyone need more time? No? Okay. So for naming or writing a formula, ladies and gentlemen, you write the symbol of the first element in the name. And then you add a subscript after the symbol based on a prefix. Okay? So all of your names are going to have prefixes with them. The only thing is, a name never begins with mono. Okay? Because there would be a lot of compounds that would be named mono then. Because there's a lot of times where the first element there is only one. The second element in the compound will always get a prefix even if there is only one. The only time we do not use a prefix is if there is one of the first element. Okay? So we write the symbol of the first element, we add a subscript after the symbol based on the prefix. We write the symbol of the second element and we add a subscript after the symbol, again based on the prefixes. We do not do charges. There is no prefix when it means one for the first element. And again, we never write ones and we do not have to reduce these. So sodium dioxide. There are no charges. So you're not putting sodium as a what's wrong with that one?
Sodium's a metal.
Yes, sodium is a metal. I'm going to guess that I was meaning sulfur. Sorry. So, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I typed the wrong name in when I did this.
Don't worry, on our screen it's not there.
Okay, good. All right. All right, that's better. Now let's go back to it. So, apparently I'm a little bit too far there. So, sulfur dioxide, ladies and gentlemen. Sulfur symbol is S. Oxide is O. Because there's no prefix by sulfur, that means there is only one of them. The di by the oxygen means 2. By the way, prefixes go before the name, but the subscripts go after the symbol. So the dioxide means there are 2 oxygens, and we have to put the 2 after the oxygen. There is no prefix here, so that means 1 sulfur. But again, we never write ones in any formulas. So your formula would be SO2, sulfur dioxide. Questions? Now again, you do not have to write this one down here. I did it for emphasis to remind you that because there is nothing here, that means there is one of these. If you don't write that, you don't need to do this over a second time. Okay? I did it to emphasize that there's only 1 sulfur there. Questions? Good. So let's try carbon tetrachloride. Again, remember, there are no charges. So we're not balancing off charges to get to 0. Okay? So carbon, what is the symbol? C. Chloride, what is the symbol? Cl, what does tetra mean? Okay, so that means 1 carbon, 4 chlorines, CCl4. There is your formula, ladies and gentlemen. Binary covalent compounds are easy to write. But you would be amazed how many times people on a test will try to put the charges up there, a -4 and a -1, and they will try to crisscross them. Now, I will tell you, on this one it would have worked, but on most it will not. Okay? So this just was a weird one that it worked out that way. Dinitrogen pentasulfide. Okay? Nitrogen, what's the symbol? N. Pentasulfide, sulfide, what's the symbol? So how many nitrogens? 2. How many sulfides? 5. So N2S5. Dinitrogen pentasulfide. Questions, ladies and gentlemen? Sorry, yes.
So basically we only put the charges if it has like one of those words in front.
We only put charges if it's an ionic compound.
Okay. But if it has like di in it, that's the di, you put it in. Wait, I'm gonna look at this stuff.
If you see prefixes in the name, di and penta, that means it's a covalent compound. You don't have to worry about charges at all. Okay? Now, I will tell you, there are some ternary ionic compounds. Turn your periodic table over, please, ladies and gentlemen. And look at some of the names there. Do you find some names where there are prefixes in them? Shining, which one? Because I see you shaking your head. Dichromate. Okay? But again, those end in ATE, right? And again, ATE means that there's a polyatomic. There will be 3 elements in there. Okay? So I would love to tell you that every time there is a prefix in the name, it is definitely going to be binary. And it's going to be covalent. But dichromate, I think there's a monohydrogen phosphate on the back of your sheet. Right? Is there anything else with prefixes on the back? Any others with prefixes? So there are a couple of them that may have prefixes that are still a ionic compound. But every binary compound will have a prefix somewhere in the name, and it will end with IDE because these are binary. Okay? So prefixes ending in IDE means that it's a binary covalent compound. Okay? All right. Trisilicon heptaphosphide. Okay? Silicon, what's the symbol? Si, how many of them? 3. Phosphide, what's the symbol? P, how many? 5. So, Si3, nope, not 5, sorry. Hepta, not penta, my bad. My bad, Sam. Heptaphosphide, P7, Si3, P7. Yes, Evelyn. Sure, go ahead. Questions? All right. So now, when you look at this, ladies and gentlemen, how do we know this, what kind of compound this is? Why? Because it's 2 nonmetals bonded together. Okay? Now, what's the first element? Nitrogen. We don't do anything to the first element other than maybe put a prefix in front of it. How many nitrogen are here? So we never begin a name with mono. So nitrogen. Okay, what's the second part? Oxygen. How many? 2. So we're going to put a di in front to indicate the 2. What do we do to the ending of oxygen? Change it to IDE. So this becomes nitrogen dioxide. Nitrogen dioxide. Questions? Yes.
Naming them, you have them as lowercase. So I just like a single.
Capitalization does not matter in the names. So if you want to capitalize the N and the D in nitrogen and dioxide, knock your socks off. Okay? Does not matter. Okay. Questions? Okay. Tell me what that is. What?
Nitrogen dioxide.
No. That is nitrogen dioxide. What is that? What? This is nitrite. It is an ion that can go with a metal to make a ternary ionic compound. This right here, none here, makes a big difference. Okay? That can go into an ionic compound. This does not. This is the entire compound. There is no charge there. Okay? No charge there. So if we take this and put it with this, first of all, how many elements? How many elements? 3. What is this? Lithium. What is this? Nitrite. That is your compound, lithium nitrite. Please do not name it lithium nitrogen dioxide. It is not. But that is nitrogen dioxide. Questions? Abby, you're looking at it kind of strangely.
Just not sure what is it.
Well, again, remember, do we ever have a covalent compound with 3 elements in it? 1, 2, 3 capital letters. Go back to your ionic naming system. Okay, back to your ionic naming system. Good. Questions?
Why didn't you add the numbers?
One more time.
Why didn't you add the name for oxygen?
Because this is called nitrite. This is on the back of your periodic table. This comes from NO3 minus 1, which is nitrate. When it has this charge here, it is not the same as it is there. Okay? This is going to be part of a compound. 3 elements in there. That is a compound by itself alone. That is why there is no charge by it. This is a complete compound. This is an ion waiting to be part of a compound. Okay? Okay? Good. C3H8. How do we say 3? Okay, we'll try. What is C? So, tricarbon. What is 8? What is H? What? But hydrogen becomes what in a compound? Hydride. So, carbon and hydrogen, carbon and hydride, because the hydrogen becomes hydride. 3 carbon, tricarbon, 8 hydrogens, octahydride. That is your name, ladies and gentlemen. This naming process is much easier than what we have been doing because you are literally describing everything that is there. The problem is people forget this is a covalent compound and they will name it carbon hydride. They will name it as they did in the ionic system, and we do not do that.
Will you tell us like what your
Nope, I will not. That's up to you to determine. That is a great question, but nope, that's up to you to determine. Questions? What is Xe, ladies and gentlemen? Xenon. What is F? Fluoride. How many Fs?
6.
How do we say 6?
So,
So what would the name be?
xenohexafluoride.
Xenon hexafluoride. Questions? None of you have a problem with this one? Nobody at all has a problem with this one? Really?
Do you want us to have a problem with it?
You should. There should be something running through your mind right now. What? Xenon? I would hope so.
It's one of them.
It's one of them.
In the 0 section. I forget what it's called, but there you go.
There's Xenon, ladies and gentlemen.
D4.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
It does no
But none of these have charges.
So true. So what's wrong with that?
What? It is a nonmetal. Nonmetals will be first in covalent
Then
compounds.
why are you so
It doesn't react? Or
Yeah, didn't we tell you that the noble gases don't react? That the noble gases do not form compounds because they are stable, and being stable is what all atoms are trying to be. So why would a noble gas react if it's already stable? Hey, guess what, ladies and gentlemen?
But
For every rule in chemistry,
there's an exception.
very good, and there's no exception to that rule. Some noble gases actually make compounds. Very rarely, very few. Probably won't give you any on a test, but we could handle it if it did.
See,
Okay.
why are you, see, why you got an issue
With what? What's your issue with?
why you got the issue with the noble gases? Can it just be what it wants to be? Why are you all that?
What do you mean? Why do I have an issue with the noble gases?
Because there should be some.
Well, what I want to do, ladies and gentlemen, is, again, I am not going to hold you responsible for exceptions. But I do occasionally introduce them to you so that you get the idea that, you know what? Very little is black and white in chemistry. Very little. Okay? Very little. Terrible. I know. Terrible. All right. B2I5. Now, this compound will happen. B2I5. Okay, diboron. Good. He's only good for the first half of the compound, ladies and gentlemen. Someone help him out with the second. Diboron pentaiodide. Again, remember, these have to end in what 3 letters? IDE, because they are all binary. Every binary compound in the world ends in IDE. Not every compound that ends in IDE is binary, but every binary compound in the world ends in IDE. Okay? Questions? Ooh, I don't think we want to do acids today. Do you guys want to do acids today? No. Okay, we won't do acids today. We'll stop there then, ladies and gentlemen.
Really?
Because you make it sound like this is an unusual thing, Jules.
It is. You're being nice.
Oh, no. Let's not use that word. Okay, that's a rotten four-letter word. Don't use that to describe me. But I do want to give you time to finish up working on ternary ionic compounds worksheet. Go to your binary covalent compound worksheet and get some time practicing these. Now again, the nice part about the binary covalent worksheet is they're binary and they're covalent, so you shouldn't have to be checking back and forth to see if it's binary or to see if it's covalent or ionic. You should just be able to name them. Again, practice naming them. Is it after the acid sheets? Yeah, sorry. It's after the acid sheets, ladies and gentlemen. Go to work. Go to work, go to work, go to work. If you have questions, let me know. If you need scratch paper, it's up here. You could come up and borrow some. Actually, you could have a piece of scratch paper. I'll give it to you. It's okay. Okay? But now you got stuff that you can do, ladies and gentlemen. Good. Go to work. Go to work. Go to work. Yes.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Again?
Yes, I can.
Wow, man. You are reaching your limit. Go ahead.